I'll be honest with you, I never really liked Kanye West, his egotistical behavior, the things he said. But he's a talented guy, you know. I kept my mouth shut if just because I don't like somebody's personality. You don't like everybody. Doesn't really mean shit out here. So, you know, I didn't really bother with it. But he kind of crossed the line with this Harriet Tubman stuff. So let's just say take the high road of what he said. Harriet Tubman, she didn't actually free the slaves. They ended up working. I mean, what was she supposed to do? Start a trust fund for them? She's not, you know, a Rockefeller, you know, doing this stuff. So that's, you know, and what has he done for anybody? Nothing. So for him to be talking like that, it's obviously he's got a problem. Maybe he's on Xanax. He warped his mind. But some people think that, you know, they think they're the smartest and the greatest in the world. And check this video out. Look at this little fucking tantrum, whining and crying. So, I mean, listen, if you had somebody like that walking up and down Fifth Avenue, screaming and yelling, nobody would even look at him through the corner of their eye. But because he reached a certain esteem, he could behave and throw these types of tantrums, and people will think that's something. I'll tell you what I think, honestly. I think he's an egotistical guy, full with his head up his own ass. 2020 Kanye, I don't really know what else to say. Let me ask somebody who Vlad, what do you think of Kanye? Vlad is new here to Trax News, you know, for the studio. He's a member. Tell us, Vlad, what do you think of this?
I just think he's just trying to be who he is. I just think he wants people to like he's just kind of like, he's already popular, he's already up there. I kind of agree with Max.
But do you think he's wrong for what he's doing, how he's behaving? Do you think that, or do you think it's a net positive or a negative here?
Honestly, I just think it's wrong to me. I feel like it doesn't make sense. I don't know what kind of message he's putting out there with that, honestly. Like Kanye, obviously everybody can run for president, but I just feel like this doesn't make sense. Like, I can't make sense of it, really. That's how I see it.
Giving him attention, I feel bad about that. Veronica, what do you think about him?
I think that ever since, you know, Kanye's mom passed away a couple years ago, I think that he really changed. You know, clearly we've seen changes in his music, the way that he's been performing, the way that he's been acting. I agree. I do think that he's egotistical. You know, a lot of people joke around and say, like, nobody loves Kanye like Kanye loves Kanye. And, you know, he is really, you know, very, very kind of like self-centered, obsessed with himself. And, you know, I think that this is kind of like a cry for help. I mean, you know, he's running for, you know, 2020 race. And I think that he's just taking this to the extreme. You know, I don't know if he's going to get any traction. You know, he's now pushing like the pro-life by using his daughter as an example. I just feel like that's not really the right way to go about it. I wouldn't take him very seriously, honestly. But I don't know what's going to happen. I think that he needs like some professional help to take care of all this stuff going on.
So for whoever thinks $1 million, Boris, do you think $1 million per baby is a good idea? Just briefly, I want to ask you.
Well, I think he's saying $1 million per baby as sort of an extension of what we were talking about, universal basic income. And I did the calculations. If you give everybody $1,200 a month from when they're born to 65 years old, it actually equals out to about $1 million. So if you're able to finance that in a certain way, with universal basic income, but he's not saying that. He's literally saying $1 million for everybody who has a baby.
Right.
So,
well, let me tell you some of the economics of that, which he doesn't understand. I mean, that's all bullshit. You know, some moron $1 million per baby. You could print. You could give $1 billion per baby. What is that? What is the end result of that going to be? That's just going to be massive inflation. You're not going to be able to produce enough supplies per that $1 million. And people are going to be having, the biggest junkie is going to be having 20 kids and trying to make it to, you know, 100 million. It's just the dumbest thing I ever heard. But it's really disrespectful to what he said about Harriet Tubman. You know, this is a person that went through hell and then went back into hell to get more people out. And you got a person like that that's risking, you know, brutal punishments and things like that, and you got a fucking lowlife Kanye West who married Kim Kardashian and is just the biggest fucking sucker to me. You know what I'm saying? Saying something like that, man, just shut the fuck up. But you can finish it off. You get the last word.
All right, so just a little update. So he did his first campaign speech in South Carolina in Charleston, and the South Carolina Board of Elections on Monday confirmed that he didn't file a petition with the state, so he's not going to be on the ballot there. But his campaign confirmed that in other states, there are multiple states that he has people collecting petitions to get him on the ballot. So I guess we'll see if his campaign is going to move forward or not. But one thing I'd like to say is, Donald Trump started his campaign saying that Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers and this and that. So, maybe, it's not out of the question that he could have, not a chance, but, maybe get a lot of votes. Who knows?
Even when Trump said that, he said they're not sending their best people. He didn't call all Mexicans that. He said they're but whatever. I'm not here to defend Trump and this and that, but and whatever Trump is doing in his presidency, but this guy don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? This guy's the worst of the worst. Harriet Tubman is this, crying, screaming, I almost killed my daughter, crying, whatever, bro.